So today on the show, I am so excited to be joined by Nasir Yassin, better known to millions around the world as Nas Daily. Nasir is the founder and CEO of Nas.com, an all-in-one AI-powered platform helping entrepreneurs launch and grow online businesses through tools for websites, e-commerce, marketing, customer management, and more. Today, Nas.com supports more than 100,000 entrepreneurs globally with the mission of helping millions of people work for themselves using AI. Before building one of the largest creator brands on the internet, Nasir attended Harvard University on a full scholarship to study economics. He later launched Nas Daily, creating one-minute videos documenting stories, cultures, and experiences from around the world, eventually building an audience of more than 70 million followers across platforms in 197 countries. Today, he also leads Nas Company, which includes ventures like Nas.io, Nas Academy, and Nas Studios, all focused on bringing people together through storytelling, education, and community. He's become one of the most influential creator entrepreneurs in the world, helping redefine how creators build businesses, audiences, and impact at global scale. Let's welcome Nasir. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I love your energy.
Thank you so much.
Like, I would have guessed you would have this energy in real life, but you never know. Sometimes I've met people where their online persona...
That are artistic in real life. I know. Most creators are artistic in real life.
Especially like investor creator types.
Oh my God. The worst.
Yeah, it's really wild.
But sometimes I feel like I should become like that if I want to be successful.
No, stay you.
Yeah, well, let's see. Depends if we get a Series B or not.
Yeah, we can determine that in a few years. We'll see if that worked out. Okay, so before we have a lot to talk about, but we do start every question with a bit of an icebreaker. Okay. So if I talk to the people closest to you, how would they describe you? And what would they say is one of your greatest strengths? And what would they say is something you struggle with? Think of
I should have my girlfriend
family,
here.
Girlfriend. Yeah, exactly. Those people.
That's my greatest strength is my energy. I have like unlimited energy to just like do whatever needs to be done. And I don't drink, I don't do caffeine, I just sleep. And so I think my energy is the best thing about me. The worst thing about me is I'm very opinionated, which means if I don't agree with something, I will never do it. So I'm like stubbornly opinionated.
What's an example of something?
It's like, oh God, I mean,
not drinking is one. Like you just don't drink versus like casually.
Oh, I don't pay for meat. So when I go out with my friends and they get like a piece of chicken, I'm like, I can't pay for meat. It's been 5 years since I have not spent a single dollar on meat.
What is that? What is the like not paying for? I've never heard that versus not eating meat. It's not paying for meat.
Yeah. So I just, my opinion is, if I'm willing to do it with my hand, then I'll eat it and I'll pay for it. If I cannot do it with my hand, then I will never eat it or pay for it. And so I can never kill a cow with my hands, so I can't pay for it. And so my whole company of 100 people is vegetarian. They're not vegetarian, but we never pay for meat as a company. We never expense it.
They're vegetarian when they work for you. And then when they go home, they can do whatever, but you never.
Correct.
You don't even expense it.
We don't expense meat. We look at every receipt. We're kind of strongly opinionated about meat.
That's very unique.
Now, I'm stubborn. And a lot of people in my company are like, it is so awkward when I take a customer to dinner and they order chicken.
Yeah.
And I tell them, can you Venmo me $5, $10?
So you'll let this be on the receipt, but you have to prove that the Venmo matches. Like, is that not a waste of time a little bit?
Yeah, principles waste time and cost money. Hello.
Having a moral compass is not good.
Well, it's not a moral compass. It's actually not a moral thing.
So what is it?
It's just... if I give you a knife right now, and I say, put this knife in the neck of the cow.
I get it.
You can't do it.
I get it.
So why are you delegating this task to somebody else?
I totally get it. I can't cook meat for the same reason.
So why do you still eat it?
But I'll eat it at a restaurant.
Exactly.
I hear you.
It's called leading by example. Is basically what you're willing to do with your hands. You should do you should ask others to do.
But I struggle with that. Okay, so here's my thing. So my twin sister is a veganish.
Yeah.
She doesn't ask me or her husband to be that, but that is her right, and I respect it.
Correct.
Talk to me about this, like having others do it too. Like, do you make your girlfriend do it?
No. Well, she actually she happened to be vegetarian as well. So
it worked out.
I actually became pescatarian because I'm willing to take a fish out of the ocean. But I don't force anyone not to eat. It's just if I'm paying, I get to set the rules. Simple as that.
So interesting. I get it though. If you're paying, it's your company.
By the way, leading a company means you have to really be opinionated. That's how culture starts. Culture is essentially strong opinions. And so another opinion I have is like, we have a Monday meeting that no one is allowed to miss, and you have to like tell me why you missed it and message me. I haven't missed this Monday meeting in 334 Mondays. That's 6.5 years. So if you're in Mexico, it's like 7 a.m. You have to show up. It's 9 p.m. in Singapore. You have to show up. You just have to show up every Monday. Everybody in my company, all 100 people live on Zoom.
Wow. What's the structure of that meeting? What do you guys talk about? Is it like an all hands?
I talk for 20 minutes about what's going on in the company, what's interesting, what's not. We appreciate each other. Then we have one person share a personal story about themselves, who they are, 24 hours that changed their life, what they would do if they were CEO, how AI impacted their life, and they just share it in front of the whole company. When was the last time you got a chance to be on stage? The whole point of it is to give people a chance to be on stage.
I love that. It's very refreshing. Usually it's like going through status updates that could be read in a deck is what usually all hands meetings
Absolutely
are.
not. We make it, I make it so high energy. Hello everybody, welcome to Monday number 334. It is like, it's the essence of culture building thing.
Okay, I have a random question because you just said Monday number 334. I'm staring at your shirt, which we'll get into. Do you love numbers? What's this thing with numbers? Like I feel that you quantify things more than normal.
I don't think I'm looking good in the first 5 minutes of this podcast.
You know what? You're looking unique, and that's what makes a great founder and a great creator.
Thank
so
you.
you're fitting your stereotype. But tell me about this numbers thing. Like, what is that? Has it always been a thing?
It's always been a thing. I haven't changed my t-shirt in 9 years. So this is the only t-shirt I wear, for the most part.
What about you go to a wedding? What happens?
I wear it, and then I wear a jacket on top of it.
What about a white shirt or a black shirt under there? You have to always be visible the little...
This doesn't always have, sometimes I actually hide it for security purposes. But
because people will recognize you and you're concerned for your
there's some
safety.
countries I don't want to be recognized, like Europe.
Okay, which countries in Europe?
Europe is dangerous, but we don't have to get into politics.
Okay.
Middle East, Europe, I think there's massive problems there. So I try to blend in, but that's out of security purposes. But this means 44% of life. I'm 34 years old. I'm supposed to die at 76. That's the average life expectancy. 34 out of 76 is 44%. I'm 44% done with life on average. And every 8 months, I change my entire wardrobe and I get a whole new t-shirt. 20 of the same t-shirt to become 45%. And I started wearing this when I was 32%. So I spent, 12% of my life wearing the same t-shirt.
Do you know Jesse Itzler has this whole calendar thing? Have you seen this?
I've heard of the calendar thing.
It's like the big calendar where you like see the rest of your life and you like plan it out. It's kind of a similar...
It's a very similar idea. It's just the whole... It's a real reminder to juice the heck out of life before it passes by.
Is it reminder for you or reminder for others?
It's for me. I don't sell these. Like I sold 100 of them total. It's not a for-profit thing. It's not a clothing line. It's just something I want to wear, and it became a brand. And another thing, culture is strong opinions, but also it's consistency. Consistency of believing the same thing for a long period of time. And I'm willing to do that.
I love that. Talk to me a little bit about your company.
Yeah.
So you have, from what I saw, like 100-ish employees?
Yeah.
What's the updated number?
100-ish.
100-ish. Okay, how is that divided amongst all your different business units? I'd love to talk a little bit more like the nitty-gritty of, Nas company in general.
Yeah.
Large, but how does it split up?
So let's talk numbers.
Let's talk numbers.
All right.
Wait, you didn't answer my other question about why you love numbers so much.
I don't love numbers so much, actually. I don't know why you think
don't know
I love
why.
numbers.
Well, because you said Monday number 334.
Oh,
and
yeah.
44%.
I don't know why.
Okay, you just do.
Yeah. But I'm not like a math guy.
Okay. Got it.
But I'm not a math guy. So
okay.
I don't know.
But there's no specific reason.
There's no specific reason.
Why you number everything. Okay, got it.
No, actually, no. But I like to quantify everything.
Yeah.
Like,
it creates a sense of urgency too.
Yes. There was a moment in my life where whenever I meet new people, I ask them, what was your net worth from the first 10 minutes? And not in a cocky way. It's not in a cocky way. It's just, I think money is such a big part of everybody's life. We think so much about it, yet we never share it. And I like to sort of take it out in the first 10 minutes of a conversation because we both become financially naked and you just feel closer to humans. I don't like this this is my privacy, this is who I am, and I stay away from me. Like I try to really get to know people like as fast as possible. But anyway, that's a completely different thing.
I love it. Okay, but I am still seeing the number thread, but we'll continue. Okay, so the 100 people, let's talk about it.
All right. So what's interesting about Nas Daily and the Nas company is that when you have audience, you start with the customer first, then you figure out the product. Which is different because most companies, you start with the product, then you find the customer. And so when one day I woke up and I was like, oh my God, we have like 20, 30 million followers on the internet and I never sold anything. It was just free content and some brand deals.
This was a few years ago, right?
It was a few years ago. And I was like, all right, how do I monetize this? because I do want to do some community monetization, not just brand monetization. So I actually experimented with a lot of things. I opened a mini hotel in Dubai to test. I opened an agency. I opened a software company. I opened an education company. I opened a travel company, And so I actually tested a lot, and I've actually landed now on like two main things: Nas.com and Nas Daily. Nas Daily is essentially a media company that has 50 people working there. And Nas Daily is a self-funded, profitable media company that does media for ourselves and for others, like behind the scenes. And
how do you guys make money? Just like ads and brand sponsorships?
No, that's the small part of it, actually. The bigger part of it is we do content for big nonprofits, governments, brands, white label content. Essentially, people want content.
Basically, you guys are experts at creating viral content,
Yes.
and so you're almost like a consultancy of some sort, where you go in, or an agency,
We do it
I guess.
for them. We do it for them.
Yeah. So it doesn't say Nas anywhere on it. It's
Yeah, it
like,
does say it. Yeah,
got it.
exactly.
Okay.
And we manage like 20 pages or so, and we just provide content.
And you're basically like a monthly retainer for like the really great talent that does some of your
Correct.
stuff, but they also do a lot of other.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
You got it. That's an agency model.
Okay.
But we feel like this content that all these companies and governments need, that's a privilege. And the average person should be able to get that same privilege. The average person should be able to market, get infinite content, and be able to build a business from content marketing. And so we built Nas.com for them. Nas.com is essentially an AI marketing platform. Think of it like Shopify, but it actually creates content on your behalf and finds a customer to buy your product. Not just, here's a website, good luck. And so it's finally possible with AI to create content programmatically. Seedance, Nano Banana, Image2, all that stuff. And so Nas.com is that. So Nas Daily is the B2B content provider. Nas.com is the B2C content provider.
It's very interesting. And how do you fit into all of that? Are you just overseeing both worlds? Do you have CEOs running both companies? Talk to me. I mean, it seems like you're running it all, but I want to hear what's your take on how you spend your time.
80 to 90% of my time is actually on Nas.com. The 10% is just to keep the agency alive. I hired a CEO for it, so I'm not really involved as much. But I learn from what the big brands want, and I try to build it for the little guy. And we are designed, Nas.com is for the bottom 99%. And Nas Daily, like the agency, is designed for the top 1%. And together we have 100%.
And you get all the data on both sides, which is really, really nice. You can use the expensive agency dollars to pay for better insights on the 99%
Exactly.
side.
I see the process. How are we creating content? Oh, we start with a script. This is the script. This is how we do it. Okay, this can all be automated, and we automate it in Nas.com. So it's almost like a market research for me at this point.
Yeah.
So I think of my life in 10-year chunks. Again, numbers. And the first 10 years I've created media and content. Nas Daily grew bigger than I ever expected. My next 10 years is technology, product. And the best way to look at it is pyramid, right? The first 10 years was an upside down pyramid, which is I'm making the videos, I'm the face, and the minute I die, the whole thing collapses. The next 10 years is a real pyramid, which is I'm building a systems, a process, a product, users, subscriptions, revenue, ARR, that good stuff. And so I'm on my real pyramid years.
But what's really special is you already have basically like built-in customers who are excited for anything that you're going to throw their way. Whether it was the hotel in Dubai, whether it is now this Nas.com, like you have built this audience, which most people spend millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars finding and acquiring 30 million people to look at their stuff every single month. I mean, that's insane.
So that's correct. However, I do want to tell everybody that it's not as rosy as it sounds.
Yeah, tell us more about that.
Well, the average creator will come and tell you, yeah, my audience is amazing, and I have distribution, infinite distribution, da da da. It's bullshit. The truth of the matter is, fandom is a great way to get through the door. To get somebody through the door, hey, you're a fan of mine. Come through the door. Check out my product. Buy my Feastables. Buy my Prime. Buy my Nas.com. But people do not stay in the house if the product is not good. So no matter how famous you are, it does not matter. For the biggest example of that is Justin Bieber tried to compete with Spotify and Twitter, I believe. He tried to compete with one of these companies, like when he was at his prime. It didn't work. He got the first 10 million people to download. The product wasn't good. They left. That's why you don't see many technology products that are influencer created. So yes, we are very lucky to get the attention at the beginning, but our challenge remains the same as every startup founder challenge.
Build a great product, keep people, retain people. Because that's so much of it.
all
You're
that
like,
matters.
CAC is lower,
Yes.
but the retention, it's the same problem everyone else faces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for everybody that says, oh, I want to build distribution first, then I want to build a product, I say, it's nice, I've done it, I'm doing it, but it is not as rosy as it sounds.
One thing I've learned talking to GPs on the show, and in my own experience as a GP, your back office is a signal. How fast you close deals, how clean the LP experience is, how your K1s land, investors notice all of it. The more buttoned up you are, the more likely they are to give you more money in the future. That's why I want to talk about Sydecar. Sydecar is the SPV platform built for fund managers who want institutional quality execution without hiring a full back office team. They'll review your deal within hours, handle full secondary transaction support, and give you transparent pricing up front. No platform carry. Also, your LP relationships stay private, which is super important. It is not a marketplace. If you're running a professional fund, your infrastructure should look like it. Sydecar makes that possible without the overhead. Check them out at sydecar.io/partners/trailblazers. When you first got here, we were talking a little bit about how you're not so bullish on sort of like creator as founder, and you struggle a little bit with like email getting worse and worse by the day.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about like the archetype of founders that you think will be successful moving forward. We acknowledge that like distribution can be really great when it's a $0 CAC to start, but product still has to be there. So like talk to me about what types of founders do you think will succeed, and as this world becomes more AI-ified by the day and anyone can build, what is that profile? What is that archetype of founder that you are excited about?
I'm excited about founders that are left-brained and right-brained. I think most content creators are left-brained, which is I'm very creative. I love to create something out of nothing, but I cannot hire two people. The right-brain people are like, oh, I'm such a great engineer. I understand systems and processes, and I'm going to build this CLI, MCP, blah, 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 blah. You cannot get attention from the average person. So really the best people are left-brain and right-brain. If you combine those two in one person, then you have magic.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that who you hire for now? What is like the type of person? Because I imagine too, you want to hire a lot of that like founder archetype within your own company, because then they'll build things really thoughtfully.
Yeah, I actually think most of my company is half of it is left-brained, the other half is right-brained.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And I'm trying to be that guy that has both brains. And I'm not saying I'm succeeding at it or not, but that's my challenge. My growth is to become that person, and I think I'm on the way. And to be able to bring those two people together. When you combine a video editor who's really creative and an engineer who's really good together under one roof, you get magic. And that's why Nas.com is trying to become the marketing platform. Use AI prompts and workflows and models to create something that's worth looking at.
Totally. Here's my struggle. I want to get your take.
Yes, please disagree with me.
I love disagreeing.
Yes.
I always disagree. So I love this idea of Shopify, but we do a lot of the marketing customer acquisition for you because of the AI models. I have found that they're just not there yet. And
absolutely.
There's all these, I don't want to name names, but there's been a lot of these like hot startups.
Icon.com.
Oh, you said it, I didn't.
You were thinking about it, weren't you?
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about Keenan. But, they sort of advertise as being sort of the like AI native ad agency. You don't ever need to have these like big production sets again. And, I struggle with, I myself have thought, wow, what would it look like? I tinker around these tools. Nothing is there.
Yes.
So like, are you guys just basically building and waiting for that opportunity? Are you guys doing more image, not video? Are you onto something technologically that I'm not seeing? Like, talk to me about that marketing piece, because, the stuff I use.
Is that good?
Not good.
So you're absolutely right. I think the ChatGPT 3 moment for content actually happened 4 weeks ago. So you probably tried icon.com more than probably 6 months ago.
Correct. Yeah.
And probably the worst thing you can be is right and early. Right and too early. That's worse than being wrong on time. And so I think icon.com was too early, because when the Seedance 2.0 model launched, that is the first time where the world, us, had a good video model that can be properly prompt engineered. So this is a 4-week-old thing, and I think you'll start seeing it more. But the thing about gradual improvements of 1% improvements is that there is not one moment where you can say, wow, now it's amazing. Because it's also creativity, right? So it's not like we're trying to solve an equation that nobody has been able to solve. It's like, is the image good? It's good, but it's kind of not good. It's
subjective. It's kind of like it's good enough, but not really great.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think the moment is now, as of 4 weeks ago, and that's now we're racing to that. So my entire team is now working on building everything you need. So we're imagining a world in 4 weeks where you take a picture of whatever you want to sell and we build your entire Instagram for you. Your entire Instagram presence. It's possible, finally. We build, and every time something happens, like Mother's Day or something time sensitive that's related to your business, we create the content on your behalf. So, I'd like to play in our zone of genius. We're not building a Stripe competitor. We just use Stripe. We're using the payment infrastructure.
Totally.
So we're not trying to build a website builder because we think the next website is going to be your Instagram. And so we're really trying to focus on the content and accepting payments for selling a product with that content. That's it.
Totally. Okay, I have another hard question for you.
Yes.
So I think a lot of people can smell AI slop, is what I'll call it generally, from a mile away.
Yeah.
And authenticity is the thing. That's why when we were talking earlier about the role of like distribution and like low CAC and sort of this like earned authority that a lot of people have in the beginning, that can be so valuable because like you have such an energy about you that is very like N of one.
Yeah.
And I think people really get that and respect that. And if we were to plug you into some AI, ad generated whatever, it would be like, I don't think that's really Nasai, or like it like might be, but it might not be. So talk to me about like how are you thinking about maintaining authenticity? Do you think it's going to matter? Do you think it's not going to matter? What are your thoughts?
So I actually happened to have done an experiment.
Okay.
Last year when View 3 launched, I said, you know what? I'm going to shut down Nas Daily after 9.5 years, and I'm going to make it 100% AI. And it was the biggest risk I took last year. And I said, I'm going to make 100 videos that are 100% AI. Never see me. It's my voice, but all you see from me is AI. I'm going to go into history in those 100 days and make 100 videos about history. The time Napoleon discovered XYZ, the time the Crusaders did something, the time the Buddha was alive. And the 100-day series got 500 million views. It was more popular than the human videos I made. And I wanted to do this series. The first 20 videos of this series were horrendous, tanked. But I started to learn storytelling and exactly how to do it right and what people really wanted.
And what software were you using? Were you just trying a bunch of different things? Okay.
View 3, Kling, Runway, everything. But then we use it on Final Cut Pro. We spent 48 hours on every video to make it right, add sound effects, music, all the stuff. And it was like 1 minute long, not 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And eventually it started to get more views than my human videos. And then I shifted to human videos and then it tanked. And so what I'm trying to tell you is that authenticity may sound nice, but what people really want is good stories. And the evidence for that is Toy Story. It's Mickey Mouse. There's not a single real Mickey Mouse, but it's all animation. South Park. We are in love with South Park. So I'm saying there is a role for AI content. There is a role for brand depth of AI slop. They call it slop at the beginning, but eventually it's going to become the next Walt Disney. So there is a world of that happening. That being said, what we are trying to achieve here is not to create a documentary with AI. What Nas.com is trying to achieve is to create the best 15 to 30 second video to capture enough attention about your product to get somebody to click. The minute you click, you're on a website and you buy. I think AI is 1000% designed for this use case.
But see, this is also the perfect example of why your following is so powerful, is you can now sit on this like, Nas.com exciting moment with the different AI ad stuff you're doing, knowing you did that 100-day streak.
Yes.
Like you can really use that as like your proof point.
Absolutely.
That it's going to get there.
We got an extra 10,000 users just from that 100-day series.
Yeah.
That paying users. They're like, okay, I see you've done it. You have the credibility. You take my money.
I love that. Well, there's also an argument to be made too where like that can be running in the background and then you can still be doing real life stuff and authentic stuff.
Absolutely.
And that can be like a nice blend. It's
Absolutely.
like, I always think you should be doing warm intros and cold intros. You don't have to just pick one. I think that's important.
Yeah. Though now I'm kind of focusing less on my content and more on
the business.
On the business.
Takes a lot of time. So I saw Vinod Khosla did a big Series A.
Yes.
Which is very exciting and it's very timely. When this episode comes out, it'll have been like a month or two ago. Talk to me about how that came to be. I mean, that's a very legit, a lot of creators especially will raise like a small pre-seed or a seed, but getting like a priced A from a tier 1 firm. Congratulations. Talk to me about that. It's rare. I will tell you, as someone who's like deep in this world, it doesn't happen often.
Just hearing this question.
Yeah.
I want to cry because it was so hard.
Yeah.
Because
you can cry. This is a safe space.
Hey, yeah. What if we cry? Will
I know.
This go
what
viral?
if we cry? Yeah. You're like, I raised
I'll tell
money.
you what, you don't get to make 70 million friends without a few enemies. So
Yeah.
a lot of people want to see me cry.
Yeah.
No, but I'm not crying. But yes. So we're very lucky to have Vinod believe in the mission. And yes, you are right.
And I saw you made him do content, which is pretty funny.
This guy. Yes, I did make him
That
do
was
content.
great. That was great.
So you are right in the sense that most creators attract tier 3 investors, if at all, and cannot go beyond seed. And I think that's a signal that they may be left-brained. And my whole life, I've been trying to prove to people that I'm left-brained and right-brained. It goes back to the same thing. So I wanted to prove to people that I'm not just a one-hit wonder who succeeded at Nas Daily. I can also succeed at building systems, processes, and a proper software company, because you engineers that are artistic are no smarter than me. And by the way, I used to be an engineer at Venmo, so I have an engineering background.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't know that. That was like your gig before.
Yes. Yeah, that was my gig before. But I wasn't the best engineer. But I think I can be a good product manager. So Vinod Costa for me is proof that we are serious players in this. And I spent $1.25 million on Nas.com, the domain name, not from Vinod's money, from my personal money, to also prove that we are serious about this approach of the next 10 years, where there is a world where the average net new entrepreneur can get access to the same content, the same business, the same customers that the big businesses have access to. We want to democratize entrepreneurship. And so that's the next vision. So we're lucky to have them as an investor. They've been great. One of the best investors we've ever had. Every 2 weeks they meet with us. They're very hands-on, brutal honesty.
Who's your person besides Vinod? Do you have another partner there?
Yeah, so we work with operating partners like Ryan, who was the former CMO of Etsy, and Brett, Nicole, incredible people. And they give you brutal honesty. And for everybody watching this, I hope you get brutal honesty at some point in your life, because that's the only thing that's going to push you to grow versus the unkind truth.
That's also a very Khosla philosophy.
Yes.
So like,
I believe in it.
A lot of other firms will not do that, but Vinod is like dead set on like giving the honest truth, even if it doesn't feel great.
Yeah.
So a lot of it also comes down to picking the right partner.
Yes.
Because if you know that you want that and you appreciate feedback,
yeah,
they're a great partner to have.
Absolutely. I think the gift you can give to people is to let them know exactly how you think about them. The worst thing you can do to somebody is give them a friendly face, but behind their back, you are unfriendly to them. I think that's disingenuous.
Yeah. Well, it just comes back to a lot of your personality, where you have these like strong opinions and you are who you are. And it's like, you either like it or you don't, but you're not going to be surprised. The rug's not going to be pulled out from under you.
Absolutely. And actually, that's what content taught me. Look, I get a lot of love comments, but I get a significant amount of hate comments too, right? And so I've grown a thick skin. I think the average founder maybe is not accustomed to like, you suck kind of comments. And I get that on a daily basis. That's the beauty of the internet. So I think being a creator has kind of like made me ready for a Khosla investment.
Totally. It's like toughened you up a bit, which is awesome.
Yeah.
How did you initially meet Vinod and the team? Like, what was that initial conversation?
Through friends of friends. Through friends of friends. His chief of staff, Nicole, she was one of the ones who sort of like championed the deal. She's great. And then Vinod liked it as well. Keith liked it as well. And
yeah, you got a couple legends over there. It's an interesting combination, that's for sure.
But
it works though.
I remember my earlier investor said to me, that's great that you got these investors, but where do you want to swim? Do you want to swim in the lake with fishes, or do you want to swim in the ocean with sharks? And really everybody here should ask themselves, where do you want to swim? In the lake or the ocean? And the ocean has sharks.
Both are fine, by the way. I think it's fine to want to be like a big fish in a small pond, which is kind of the other analogy.
Absolutely.
But you have to be very aware of it.
Yes, you have to choose. And it's a choice.
Totally.
Nothing wrong with either, as you said.
Totally. So I want to change gears a little bit, and I want to ask you about a really beautiful tribute that I saw you made.
Oh. Thank you for watching the Nas Daily content.
Oh, of course. I mean, I will say I don't watch it all the time.
Me neither.
But I do my research. Okay, I do my research. Zaki Djemal.
Yes.
I know from the Jewish VC world, we all stick together, especially over the past few years.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that connection between you and him.
So you knew him?
Through the communities, but I didn't know him super well.
Yeah.
But we're all in similar group chats and things like that. And there was such an outpouring of love and shock when he passed a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to ask you, what did he mean to you? Could you tell everyone a little bit more about that friendship? Because we have a lot of people listening who are in that community and maybe don't know how well you two did know each other.
There's a special place in heaven for people who believe in others before they believed in themselves. And I think that was Zaki, right? He believed in me before I believed in myself.
He's also a VC, so that's his job.
That's his job. But I knew him before he was a VC.
Yeah. He was like that as a friend, it sounds like.
He was like as a friend as well.
Yeah.
And I think for me, whoever believed in me before I believed in myself has a special place in my heart. And that's really Zaki, I don't love him because he invested in my company. I don't love him because, he's a VC. I love him despite the fact that he's a VC. I love him because he's like a great human. And so, when he died, I really thought about this. Should I make a video about this or should I keep it a personal grief? And this Nas Daily is essentially, it's a personal journey. And as I experience life, I take my audience with me. Right? It doesn't mean that Nas Daily has to be always positive and fun and about travel. If I don't want to travel anymore, I'm not making travel videos. If my friend died, I'm going to make a video about it. And so I thought the world could learn from this tragedy, learn how to believe in others. And that's what I learned from Zaki, believing in others before they believe in themselves.
It's beautiful. And he's someone who did that obviously in his personal life and his professional life.
Yes.
So you could see that through and through.
But that's you, right? Your job is to believe in others before they believe in themselves.
Yeah, but it's not everyone is that way. It's hard to do. It's hard to have true conviction. I think you're really striking me as someone who has real belief in yourself. And you're very clear on who you are. And I think it requires that to then have belief in others. I think that a lot of people just kind of go with the crowd and they have a lot of FOMO, and if they don't have clarity on who they are and what they believe, how could they recognize greatness in someone else when there isn't that within themselves?
That's very thoughtful. That means Zaki had great conviction on who he is.
Exactly. And I think that is so much of what I got also from your video is he only believes in you and he only believes in all these people because he believes in himself. And he's just letting other people borrow it for a little bit,
I love that.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, I never thought of that before.
Yeah. Well, it's about confidence, quite frankly. It takes a lot of confidence, especially for an investor, to be a first check in an unproven founder, an unproven company. It takes a lot of confidence. And to have that kind of confidence, often you have to have that yourself.
So the question now goes to you.
You can't ask me questions.
It's a conversation.
Okay.
What percentage number do you believe in yourself?
Ooh, pretty high. But I will say I think some of it is my own, but a lot of it has to do with my mother. And I think that's a lot of people is, I always say, people ask what % of success is hard work or luck, or what % of belief is hard work or luck. And I think it's just luck to be born with the family and the mother I had. So what's your answer?
There's no number answer.
I don't know. How much? 95%?
Wow, that's pretty high.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I have high integrity. I always treat people with kindness. I do my best every day. So why wouldn't I? Sometimes I make mistakes. That's the 5%. But you got to believe in yourself, especially if you want to be a founder. There's so many other people that are not going to believe in you. Like you said, with all the comments that you get as a creator, you got to just have that, I know I'm doing a good job and I know that I care,
I love that.
Yeah. If you're building in public, sharing insights, or staying top of mind with your network, you need a newsletter. And if you have a newsletter, you need Beehiiv. You know how I always talk about writing essays that change the trajectory of my VC firm? Well, I publish all of them through Beehiiv. It's my absolute favorite platform because it serves as a blog, a newsletter, and a website all in one, so I don't have to republish or reformat across platforms. Beehiiv is the creator platform where newsletters actually grow. We're talking built-in referral programs, a recommendation network, and analytics that tell you what's working, not just vanity metrics. Plus, you can monetize from day one through their ad network, paid subscriptions, or boosts. No platform cut eating into your revenue as well. I can speak from my personal experience. I'm always getting pinged for new ad opportunities. Beehiiv has a range of customers, from major publishers like Time Magazine, TechCrunch, and Newsweek, to solo operators earning 7 figures from their inbox. It's the same platform that's built to scale with you. If you've been putting off starting your newsletter or outgrowing whatever you're on, now is the time. Go to Beehiiv.com and use code Trailblazers30 for 30% off your first 3 months. So I have a confession. I used to be a compulsive note taker. Every single meeting, I'd be half listening and half scribbling and still leaving with gaps on next steps, details that were shared, and more. But Granola completely changed that for me. It's an AI-powered notepad for meetings, and it's connected to every single call on my calendar. Before each call, it shows me a well-researched brief, so I know who I'm meeting with and the full context going in. During the call, I jot down whatever stands out, maybe it's a key word or a decision I make, and Granola handles the rest. It'll transcribe in the background on the call and then turns my rough notes into clean, structured takeaways the second we hang up. There's also no bots joining calls. It just works in the background. I use Granola for several things. If I finish a meeting with a potential investor in my fund, I'll ask Granola, what could I have done better to get my point across? If I'm meeting with a founder I like, I'll ask Granola to point out any major green flags or maybe red flags I may not have already caught. For people with a lot of meetings and decisions that require endless context, Granola is a game changer. Actually, we're running Granola on today's episode, so you can read the full show notes at granola.ai/trailblazers. New users get 3 months completely free. That's granola.ai/trailblazers. Okay, another interesting topic I did want to touch on. Yeah. I have to because, you know, I'm a Jew. So I have to.
Wait, can I guess the topic? You want to talk about China, Taiwan, right?
Yeah, China, Taiwan. No, Ukraine, Russia. The other one.
My favorite topic.
The other one. So I watched the Zaki Djemal tribute, and then I've watched some of your stuff over the years, but I'll be honest, I've learned a lot in the past 24 hours.
I made a lot of videos.
You've made a lot of videos. But the other time that I saw your post was a 4 million plus YouTube video about, that's how many views you have, by the way, 4 million, or is it more than that?
On which video?
On a YouTube video, Israel and Palestine.
Yeah. Actually, there's like 30 million on Facebook on that video. I'm not a YouTuber. Right? People think of me as a YouTuber. I'm not a YouTuber. I hate YouTube.
Okay.
But you know, I boycotted YouTube the first 2 years.
Why?
I didn't even upload on YouTube.
Why?
I'm like squarely against the platform.
This is you with your strong opinions that are hard to understand. Okay, tell me about why you're against it, and then we'll get back to the question.
Okay. Well, when I first started, I saw that YouTube was basically a 10-minute video place, a vlog, where Logan Paul and all these people can make vlogs and prank people. I thought that that's not who I am. I wanted to make 1-minute videos about the world, and my mom went on Facebook 25 times a day, and she went on YouTube once a day. So it's like, I'm going to put my videos where my mom is, and if she likes it, all her friends can see it, so you get that social validation. This is before Facebook video. And so I was one of the top 10 first Facebook creators, exclusively Facebook creators. And there was one day I made a video saying, I'm a full-on Facebook creator, not a YouTube creator. And then Mark Zuckerberg saw it and they invited me to Facebook. So that really worked out for me.
He probably printed that out and put it on a billboard, like we're winning.
In front of the whole company in like a Q&A. Wow. So it was like really, it was like, wow. But yes, it's, I just saw an opportunity. There's a little supply of content and there's a lot of demand for content on Facebook, and I saw the opportunities there.
And I love that you used your mom as your example of
Absolutely.
Like who's going to like your content and where does she spend her time.
For me, B2C is really key. This is why I care a lot about Nas.com B2C, because life is not worth living if you're just making B2B SaaS. And this is a very controversial, strong opinion.
It is a very strong opinion, especially for a VC podcast. I know.
I really hope you're also a B2C investor.
That's a B2C, of course.
I know, you invested in Superpower. I saw that.
Yeah, I did. Do you know Superpower?
I invested in them too. Yeah.
Fun.
But less than you.
Yeah. B2C and B2B. We like to do both.
Yeah.
But I love that. I think that that's really awesome. And it's sweet that you built it for your mother too, like knowing where she would be.
And my dream is for my mother to start to become an entrepreneur at age 65.
She can go to Nas.com and she can build her company.
Exactly. And so my father's going to sell his book. He's at age like 60 as well, and 65. And I think for me, my mom and my dad understanding what I do and my friends understanding what I do is of paramount importance.
I get it. I totally get it. I think it's hard though when you're in our world, because sometimes you get so deep.
Yes.
And they're used to like firefighter, teacher, doctor, lawyer.
Exactly.
Okay, so I want to get back to my question about this Israel-Palestine video, which I guess has maybe like 40 million views, not 4 on YouTube, because you have Facebook too. What gave you the courage to post it, first of all, and what was the reception? And I'd love for you to also share with people like a little bit more about your story, because I know you were born in Israel in a Palestinian family, so you've got this beautiful intersection of both worlds. I'd love you to just tell people a little bit more about that story and the courage you had. I mean, I was like, oh, what a contentious thing to post. You were just like asking for it on either end, quite frankly.
So I was born and raised in a village in northern Israel next to Jesus, next to Nazareth. Mm-hmm. And I happen to be part of 20% of Israel that's not Jewish. Arab, Palestinian, Muslim as it gets for hundreds of years.
A lot of people don't know this, by the way.
No.
Like, Israel is a lot of non-Jews,
It's
wonderful
a lot of
non-Jews. Yeah.
You know, half of my life, I really just wanted to escape. I just didn't like the idea of being in a village. I didn't like the culture of the village. And I didn't like being, looked down upon in Israel, And so I escaped. So I went to Harvard, and that was my ticket out. And I got a scholarship. And that's where I met Israelis. That's where I made Jewish friends. It took me 19 years to finally make a Jewish friend. And you know who he was? Zaki. He was my first Jewish Israeli friend.
So even though you were in Israel with this melting pot of cultures, you didn't actually really hang out with many Jewish folks.
No, and it's not me here saying, oh, Israel sucks. No, not at all. I'm here saying that we didn't want to live with Jews, and I'm here saying that Jews didn't want to live with us. And I'm here to talk about self-segregation as a real problem.
And by the way, this was all before October 7th. Like,
Way
this
before.
was so long ago. It's
So
always
long
been that
ago.
way, yeah.
Self-segregation. It's just like we live on ourselves, they live on ourselves by themselves, and that's that. And so I'm not here, I don't want to play the victim. It's like we are to blame as well. And I think there's a lot of blame to be assigned for everybody in the Middle East. So I just grew up seeing people sort of be torn apart because of labels, because of your religion, because of where you come from, because of what you believe in. And so you know what the mission statement of Nas Company for NASCOM and Nas Daily, you know what the mission statement is? Bring people together.
And that's the people. Nas means
Yes,
people in
exactly.
Arabic. Bring people together.
It's the opposite
Yeah.
of what I grew up with. I think we all have problems as children, and we spend the rest of our lives trying to solve these problems as adults. That's it. And so I'm in the fixing problem phase. And when I was a child, I hate these problems, and now I want to fix them. And so I think the world is fixed when you have better content, less divisive content. My Israel and Palestine video that I made is not supposed to be divisive. It's supposed to be uniting. It's supposed to say we are equally indigenous. And I think when you understand what equally indigenous means, and I didn't come up with this term, it's such a powerful term. Equally indigenous, it means we both have nowhere to go. And it's not like you go back to Poland and you go back to Egypt. It's more like, just figure it out. And I want Nas Daily to be that. Yes, did I pay a cost for saying this stuff publicly? Would life have been better if I just hid my Israeli identity? Would life have been better if I jumped on the Free Palestine train and just call it oppressed oppressor, made it a very simplistic narrative? Which I am a Palestinian. I understand how complicated this thing is. And I'll say something that hopefully gets me more canceled. The most dangerous thing for a Palestinian is not an Israeli. It's another Palestinian with an AK-47. And I want my people to not embrace extremism and embrace modernity, embrace tolerance, embrace equality. And when we fix ourselves, we can demand the world to save us. And saying this stuff publicly lost me 1 million followers, lost me millions of dollars.
How did you find the strength to do that? Or did you just say, that might happen, we'll see, and kind of tried to be naive about it?
I've always known that the world goes through phases. And when you are playing hockey, which I never did.
I was going to say, that feels really random for you. Okay. But if you were to hypothetically play hockey,
play hockey.
Yeah.
You don't skate to where the puck is. You skate to where the puck is going.
Beautiful, yeah.
And so you want me to say what you believe today? Sure, I'll say it. But I really believe that we're equal indigenous, and Israel is here to stay, and the Jews are here to stay, and the Jews are incredible humans, and Palestinians are too, and Palestinians do need to become more moderate. That's where the next 5 years is going to be. So I will take the pain for 5 years. And every founder is essentially doing the same thing. I'll take the pain of 10 years and build this company. Hopefully the outcome will be an exit after 10 years. But it's about, what's your pain tolerance? My pain tolerance is actually extremely high. And so I'm taking the pain today. I took the pain for the last 3 years. I think we're slowly coming out of it. The safest time in the world for Israel is today. And the safest time in the world for Palestinians is also today. And it came after this insane pain. The safest time in the world for Lebanese is today. The safest time for Iranians is not today. It's probably tomorrow. But we are living through the safest times for Lebanese, for Egyptians, for Israelis, and for Palestinians. But that only came after a lot of pain.
Yeah, and we can only pray that it gets easier for everyone and that we can go back to a bit more peace.
I feel like we are at peace.
Yeah. I mean, for like, it feels like we're taking a deep breath now for the first time in a few years.
Yeah.
The 2026 primaries are taking shape, and if you have a strong opinion about how they're going to go, Kalshi lets you actually trade on it. Kalshi is the largest prediction market in the US, federally regulated and available in all 50 states. You're not betting against a house. You're trading against other people in a live market, taking yes or no positions on real-world events. Elections, federal interest rates, economic data, you name it. Right now on Kalshi, you can trade on the California governor race, Senate outcomes, and a dozen other major political storylines as they develop. As the probability shifts, you can buy in or out of your position in real time. It's a completely new asset class, and honestly, one of the more interesting ways to have skin in the game on what you're already watching closely. Download the Kalshi app, that's Kalshi, and use code Trailblazers to get $10 when you trade $10. Or go to kalshi.com/r/trailblazers to accept this $20 offer. With Kalshi, you can trade on anything. 18 plus only, restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory. Okay, so a quick experiment. Think about the last long message you typed. Could be a Slack thread, a prompt into Claude, maybe it's a detailed email. It probably took you 10 minutes, maybe even 20 to get it right. Now imagine you just said it out loud instead. That is the whole pitch for Wispr Flow. Wispr Flow is voice to text that actually works in every app on every device. You speak naturally and it outputs clean, formatted text that's ready to send. No setup, no integrations, no fixing weird transcription errors. And it works across Gmail, Slack, Notion, Claude, iMessage, wherever you type. And unlike the built-in dictation on your phone, Wispr Flow removes all filler words, mid-sentence corrections, and jargon. What I personally love about it too is that it perfectly matches my style. So I often type in all lowercase letters, so it'll type like that. I'll also say things like LMK, which means let me know in shorthand, and it'll auto-adjust it from let me know to LMK. Like many of you, I also do a lot of brain dumping into LLMs. So instead of typing it all out, I actually just speak my windy train of thought into Wispr Flow, which is infinitely faster than trying to get my fingers to keep up with the pace of my thoughts. If you do any serious writing or just send a lot of messages and emails, using Wispr Flow is a no-brainer. Get 1 whole month of Wispr Flow Pro completely free at ref.wisprflow.ai/trailblazers. I really have to say, I think your message, like, not to say that this company doesn't matter, and not to say that all the amazing content and the people you've influenced doesn't matter, because it does so much.
Yeah.
But the way that you just articulated that is so powerful, and that you and I can also sit here as a Jew and an Arab and a Palestinian, and we both love Israel, and we want to do good stuff, and we're good people. Like, that is what's going to change the world. And I want you to know it means so much to me to hear you say stuff like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really powerful.
Of course. Yeah. It's the truth.
Yeah. But it's so hard to have that backbone. Like, what do you attribute that backbone to? I mean, because I will tell you, I think it's not just that you've gotten all these comments for years and now you're tougher. There's something more that like is under it that makes you do something like that. As someone who is an Israeli-Palestinian, to make that video, there is something deeper beyond just having thick skin. Like, where does that backbone come from?
It's a very good question. I'll give you the technical answer and the non-technical answer. Mm-hmm. The technical answer is, I have diversified my audience, my followership, my revenue streams, my company enough so that the whole Middle East is less than 10% of my revenue. If not.
If I lose them, it's okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I have 5 million followers in the Arabic page, Nas Daily Arabic. Let's say I've lost 4 million of them. Great. That's 10% of the audience. It's okay. So I've lost millions of dollars, but I was able to be sufficiently diversified. Thank God for India, Thank God for the United States. Thank God for Israel. So I was diverse. That's a technical answer. So I can take these risks. So the way I think about it is, I'm actually a big fan of taking risks, but I'm not a fan of taking 100% risks. I'm a fan of taking 50% risk, 40% risk, 60% risk, hedged risks. Even when I left my job to go build Nas Daily, it was a massive risk, but I had a plan to get a job even after I started Nas Daily. And I had a Harvard degree that hedges your risks. So I really believe in hedging your risks. The non-technical answer is, every time I see everybody do one thing, I do the opposite. And that has been the reason I'm here. I come from the village with the highest number of doctors per capita in the world.
In Israel.
In the world.
But I'm saying it's your village in Israel. Yeah,
it's an Arab village in Israel. 90% of my graduating classmates are doctors, including my brother.
What's the town called?
Araba.
Arabi.
Yes.
Araba.
Okay. And I was like, why should I be a doctor? If 90% of people are being doctor just because the other person is being a doctor. It's almost like sheep mentality. Like, no, I should not be a doctor. I should apply to Harvard and become just an engineer, whatever. You go to Harvard.
Where are all these doctors going to school? Are they staying local in Israel, or are they kind of
going to East
everywhere?
Europe?
East Europe, but they're not going to America.
No, it's too hard to get in America.
Yeah.
So they go to Eastern Europe.
Okay, casual. Harvard full ride. Oh, it's too hard.
No. Sorry. Hard. Sorry, I didn't mean it in like that. Hard in the sense of qualifications. So you have to do like so many tests for the medical world.
Oh, I see.
For the medical world,
like MCATs and stuff.
Yeah, MCATs take forever. Even my doctor is a dentist. As I come to America, it's like, it's too hard.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying to go from another country to America, you have to retrain yourself.
Absolutely.
It's too hard. Got it.
It's too hard, yeah.
Okay.
I want to be humble, please. Make me look humble.
You're like, I'm too smart for all of you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
It's too hard. I mean, I have another story for the Harvard thing. I failed my SATs, to be clear.
Then how'd the full ride happen?
I got the full ride is need-based, not merit-based.
Okay, but how'd you even get into Harvard?
That's the only reason I applied to Harvard. I didn't want to go to Harvard. I don't think I'm good enough for Harvard. I wanted to go to Indiana or some community college in Indiana. But when I learned and Googled that Harvard is blind, I was like, oh, I should apply. I have nothing to lose. And then I applied, nothing to lose. And I was like, oh, I'm in. By the way, guys, I have no money.
And they were like, oh, well, we got to follow through.
Exactly. It was such a genius system that they have.
Yeah. But so also, why Indiana? I mean, that's also very random.
Oh, so...
Israel to Indiana. I mean, you don't hear of that often.
So I actually made a friend who... There's this Jewish American lady from Ohio. She comes to Israel every year to volunteer and teach English to Arab Israelis. And she's Jewish American. And then she came to my classroom. She walked in. I became friends with her family. And then we became pen pal buddies. And then one day they said, come to America to stay with us for a month. And I said, thank you. I'm coming to America. And I go to Dayton, Ohio. And she says, oh, you spent a month with us. You looked at universities in Ohio and Indiana. You like it. But my son goes to Harvard. I'm going to buy you a plane ticket to go to Harvard and see it for yourself. And I said, I'm not smart enough for Harvard. I should not go to Harvard. And she said, no, I'm going to buy you the plane ticket. And so I went there, I landed there, and they're not geniuses. They're just like you and me talking about Jersey Shore. And I was like, wait, they're like humans like me. I can apply. So I went back, I applied, and I got in. So I owe a lot to this Jewish American family.
Do you still keep in touch?
Of course.
Oh,
of course.
Good.
I owe a lot to them. And so so who are the people that I owe a lot to? Zaki, this family, and a few other people. Ikram, the founder of Venmo, who gave me a job. There's 10 people that made me who I am today, and I'll do whatever it takes to pay it back.
And by the way, you've mentioned 3 Jewish names. I mean, I guess Ikram's not Jewish, but you're the Jewish American family, Zaki. Okay, Ikram's Muslim, but see, you're also like a Palestinian who was helped out by Jewish people. I mean, even that is like supposed to be a walking contradiction, that you have this like piece within your network.
Exactly. And so seeing so many Jewish people helping me before Nas Daily.
Yeah.
Before Nas Daily. Before I was anybody. I was a village boy. That tikkun olam mentality, I just think that hate doesn't disappear. It mutates. And the hate that we had in World War II, in the Nazi era, I think it has, towards Jews, has mutated. And now non-Germans have it. Unfortunately, some of these people happen to be my people. But we got to get rid of that. It's just a blind hate to anything Jewish or anything Israeli. There is no reason why Israel should be condemned more than any other country in the world. 119 UN condemnations versus North Korea, which is like 16 or 19. I've been to North Korea. I've seen North Korea. It is horrendous. Okay, it is nowhere near Israel, and yet this fixation on Israel, and in seeing my personal truth and seeing what the world thinks is the truth, and seeing there's a mismatch. Yeah, you always got to go with your personal truth.
Yeah, it's hard though. I think a lot of people just read what's in the media. They don't ever take the time to go see it for themselves, unfortunately.
And hopefully Nas Daily helps a little bit in that, but every time you do that, you will pay a price.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, I commend your backbone. It means a lot to me. And even talking to you now, I can see how authentic it really is, which is really
And thank you for noticing. Like, people like you give me energy.
I mean, listen, like I'm a Jew who could use all the help I can get. I'll take it from a Palestinian. I'll take it from anyone. Like
I'll take it from anybody, even a Palestinian.
And of course, as someone who can see it clearly and who just wants to give everyone a fair shot and believes in tikkun olam, like you said, I think is really powerful. I could keep asking you a million questions, but I do want to get to our lightning round.
Yes.
Because I have some fun ones here.
Wow,
okay?
That was a nice little VC talk.
Yeah, and then we got into the heart of it.
And I went really deep. Yeah.
And
I can tell you even changed a little bit by the second half.
Mm-hmm. I did. You got to match the moment. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and talk about like, so Israel, it's super animated. Okay, so let's do our trade-offs. What is the best teacher, a mentor or a mistake?
Definitely a mistake.
Okay, tell me more.
I made 1,000 videos in 1,000 days. I failed in 700 of them. Every failure of a video taught me how to make that 300 videos that succeeded. I super duper believe in fast iteration. I launched Nas.com after 2 months of work. I believe in super fast launch, super shitty product, and learn from the mistakes.
Love that. Book in hand or podcast in ears?
Sorry?
Book in hand or a podcast in your ears? Which do you prefer?
What's a book in hand?
Book in hand?
Oh, book in hand.
A book in hand. A book in hand.
I'm so sorry.
I'm like, a book, you read it?
Yeah. Book in hand or podcast in ear?
Yeah. What do you prefer?
Both are good.
Both are good. Okay. Hire slow or fire fast?
Fire fast.
Okay, tell me more.
Hire fast, fire faster is my culture at Nas Company. It is very normal to see people join us for like 3 weeks and they're out in the third week. It's very normal.
And what's the main reason why? Not a culture fit or it didn't perform?
Mostly didn't perform. I think culture is very easy to tell who's a culture fit and who's not, but the interview process is full of lies. And nothing wrong with that. I mean, we all lie. By lie, I mean embellish.
Yeah, of course. I call it peacocking.
Peacocking, that's interesting.
Yeah.
No one's dream is to become an account manager at an agency. But they all say it is in the interview process. But so what I'm trying to do now is to try to place people in the things they have always wanted, not the things they say they want because they're applying for a job. And to know exactly what people want to spend their life doing because life is short. That's what I'm trying to get better at in the interview process. So I stole this line from my friend. I asked people in the interview process, what is your perfect day? If your perfect day is hanging out with friends, going to the beach, chilling, and going to a festival, you should not be stuck in my office 12 hours a day. If your perfect day is to create something out of nothing with others, you should be stuck in an office for 12 hours a day and work with us. So understanding what people's perfect day is helps you understand how they want to spend their life truly.
Yeah. Beyond what they feel like they should share to get the job.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I think that's smart. I'm always looking for questions that kind of get to the root of it all. So that's fun to hear.
Do you have any other questions? Maybe I could ask.
That's a good question. What's your perfect day is a good one. I love the what would the closest people around you say about you? Because I think it sort of makes people go oh, because they think about their close people to learn a little bit more about.
But they say I'm kind, they say I'm amazing.
Not necessarily. Sometimes they have a really shocking thing, they would say that I love my peanut butter too much, and then I'm like, oh, tell me more, and they're like, I every day at 10 p.m. I like to have whatever, and I'm like, oh, okay, they're very routine oriented, and they, you kind of sometimes pick up little things. I feel like people loosen up a bit.
Interesting, cool.
So here's a problem I hear constantly from operators. The data exists, the answers are somewhere in there, but getting to that, actually pulling a useful insight without bugging the data team or learning SQL takes way too long or just does not happen. Hex solves that. Hex is an AI analytics platform where anyone on your team can ask data questions in plain English and get real answers, backed by your actual business context. No SQL required. And the best part is that Hex shows you exactly how its data agents think, so you can see where the logic comes from and trust the output. The more your team uses it, the smarter it gets. From seed stage founders running lean to larger orgs dealing with serious data complexity, Hex is built to scale with you. It's game-changing for people like me who want to understand what's going on under the hood, but we are not the data experts. It's funny too, because I feel like every time I look over my operator friends' shoulders, whether they're in product or marketing or ops, they often have a Hex dashboard pulled up. It's a great tool. Trailblazers listeners get an exclusive 30-day free trial at hex.ai/trailblazers. This is funny, you talked about this earlier. Being early or being right?
Yeah, but couldn't you also be right if you're early? Like early and wrong, you mean?
Yeah, but which matters more? Would you rather be too early to something Or I guess you'd rather always be right. But what is more important? Like, should you do it before you're ready, or should you make sure you wait for the right time? I guess we'll phrase it like that.
I'm a fan of being early.
Okay.
I'm a fan of being early.
That's what you were kind of saying too. Like, you just want it to be early, bad product. Anything can be bad. You don't care. Just get it out there.
Yeah.
Test.
Yeah. There's two types of people in the world. There's like a sniper and a machine gun. A sniper disappears for 3 years, makes a documentary. It's on Netflix, #1. A machine gun makes 1,000 videos in 1,000 days and hopes they get it right. I'm a machine gun, not a sniper. And so, and people need to ask themselves, and this is such a violent example, but are you a machine gun or are you a sniper?
Yeah, totally. It is a very violent example.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, but it's a good comment. I think also the machine gun increases their surface area for luck because they're taking so many more shots on goal versus you spend 3 years on a book or a documentary and it just sort of either flops or crushes it, but
exactly.
It's variable. Okay, is the future of AI abundance or chaos?
Yeah, I'm forever optimist. Definitely abundance.
Good. I could have guessed you would say that. What matters more, a killer product or a loyal niche audience?
Killer product. As you know from this conversation by now, killer product trumps all. Loyal niche audience is great for a lifestyle business. It's great. But if you want to build something of scale, loyal niche audience, I don't think it works.
Yeah. VC or bootstrapping?
See, I have both. I have a bootstrap company.
That's why you're a good person to ask this to, because you've got the 50-50.
God. Wow, man. I'll tell you what. I mean, the VC company is much harder. I think there's benefits and disadvantage to both. My bootstrap company is not going to the moon. It's a medium-sized business for the foreseeable future, but it's 30% profitable. Profit margin. My bootstrap company is almost a 0 or 1 outcome. And if the one happens, it's $1 billion company.
So maybe your answer is to do a bit of both, because you're kind of hedging your bets there. Like, you've got this like moonshot option, but you still have this sort of like steady state business that can balance it if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, but spending 90% of my time on this, like, my reputation is now on the line.
Yeah, no, it better work.
It better work. It better work. Brute force.
Brute force. Okay, 2 more. Never post on social media again, or never fundraise another dollar again.
Oh, easy. Never fundraise another dollar again.
You can't get rid of socials. You love socials.
I love socials, but I also, being able to talk to 100 million people is significantly more rewarding than getting the approval of 5 VCs.
Yeah. More people need to hear that. I hear you. Okay, the last question, and the one on everyone's minds right now, and I think I'm going to know your answer because you're very clear with how you feel about things. Is AI overhyped or underhyped? Today. Yeah.
I would say in the B2C world, underhyped. In the B2B world, overhyped.
Very nuanced answer. As a VC, I
you're
respect
not used to me being nuanced.
I like it. I know. I love it. I would think that's really smart. Nasir, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Our time is up.
This was super fun. Way more fun than I expected.
Good. I'm glad I surpassed.
This is a really great conversation. Thank you for asking such thoughtful questions, and thank you everybody for listening.
Thanks so much for listening to the Trailblazers podcast. If you found this conversation valuable, please follow along on socials, share with a friend, leave a review, all the things. Most of all, please subscribe to our channel. It helps more contrarian builders find us and supports the work we're doing here. To learn more about what we're doing, you can visit trailblazerspod.com or my venture capital firm, parkrangerscap.com, or just follow along on socials at Erica_Winger. Until next time, keep trailblazing.